This is a person who probably needs no introduction to 99% of the room. And it's a name you're going to hear more and more over the next 14 months. And I'm going to have the honor more and more of saying it. And the families in Wisconsin are going to get used to the idea of having Tammy Baldwin as their next United States Senator. That will never grow old. It will never get too tiring to say, please let me introduce to you a woman who needs no introduction because she's been a persistent champion of the LGBT community, and no one fights harder for Wisconsin families than the next senator from Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin.
Well, thank you, Chuck, for that energetic introduction. I'm delighted to join you this evening. And I just want to thank all of you for your support of the Victory Fund also. It's no secret that I would not be a member of the House of Representatives if it weren't for the extraordinary work of the Victory Fund staff and board members and all the members who worked so hard on my behalf so many years ago when I first ran for State Assembly and then first ran for the House of Representatives. And you've also played such a tremendous and key role in advancing the careers of so many in the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community who have wanted to be a part of public service, either in appointed office or elective office. And I thank you all for making that possible. I got a chance to arrive during the remarks of Senator Collins, and her award tonight is really, really well deserved. I was glad to hear her account of the insider information on the passage of the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the Senate. I've had the experience of working as a legislative partner with her on a bill to extend domestic partnership benefits and obligations to those in the federal workforce. And it has been an extraordinary opportunity. And so I hope that in 2013, I may have an opportunity to work even more closely with her as a colleague in the United States Senate. And I want you to know that if I do have the honor of working more closely with Senator Collins, one of my deepest regrets will be that I will no longer on a daily basis be working side by side with Keith Ellison. But I want to tell you a little bit about our incredibly deserving hero tonight, Keith. He, first of all, has broken glass ceilings and made history in his own right. And in that way, I think, shares so many of the experiences that those of us in the LGBT community do when we break glass ceilings and make history. Keith Ellison was the first Muslim elected to Congress, to either house, to the House of Representatives, and the first African American from the state of Minnesota elected to Congress. As the current co-chair of the House Progressive Caucus, Keith is playing an incredible role in fighting for the middle class of this country, the working people of this country, trying to get people back to work, trying to improve our economy, and I think an area in which he is most eloquent, trying to rescue the American dream for all of us and our future generations. Keith's public service is guided by his commitment to inclusiveness. And that was a value that was no doubt cultivated by his own experiences about being honest and open about who he is. And perhaps he'll tell us, but to some great extent, it was these experiences that have helped shape him as such a tenacious and valued ally and strong leader on LGBT equality. Now, a few years ago, when we formed the LGBT Equality Caucus in Congress, Keith signed on not just as a member of that caucus, but became one of our vice chairs. Our vice chair positions are limited for those people who go above and beyond, who count the votes, who persuade their colleagues. And on every issue that has come up, Keith has volunteered, give me more names, I'd like to talk to more people, I'd like to persuade others. He has been incredible in getting us to where we needed to be in order to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and a number of other extraordinary House achievements. Now, in his home state of Minnesota, there's going to be a big fight next fall. They're unfortunately facing a ballot initiative to write in discrimination into their constitution on marriage. Keith did not miss a beat when the legislature voted to put that on the ballot, immediately recording a video and pledging to be a leader in the campaign to defeat that amendment. I have the honor of knowing some of his former colleagues in the state legislature in Minnesota, the late Alan Spear, State Senator Scott Dibble, State Representative Karen Clark, all of whom served with Keith and are so grateful for your leadership. You know, I think, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but right when the seat became open, I called a couple of my friends in the legislature and said, why aren't you running for that seat in Congress? And without a hesitation, Keith will be a strong and clear voice for the LGBT community. Keith, I can think of no one more deserving than this award tonight. Please, everybody, join me in congratulating and thanking Keith Ellison.
Thank you, Senator Tammy. Tammy, thank you. I'm so honored, just so honored. I'm just really floored and blown away, and I just want to thank all of you. You know, what's been on my mind recently is this idea of our country as one nation. And one day I just found myself, as we always do, like saying the Pledge of Allegiance. You know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, Representative Shelley Berkeley's here with us tonight, too. So absolutely champion. And, you know, Tammy and Shelley can tell you that every morning we get up, we say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And it ends, that pledge ends, and liberty and justice for all. And there's no exceptions. It's just all. It's all. And right? And it's all of the straight, all of the gay, all of the lesbian, all the bisexual, all of the black, all the white, all the people who were born here and all the people who came here. It's all. And I want to let you know that, you know, we live in a time, and perhaps there's always been a time in American history where there were people who were not all right with the all, or maybe they wanted all, but they wanted exceptions to the all except for them, or all except for those, and all except for this religion or this race or this group of people. And this idea of liberty and justice for all is something we have to defend fiercely and fight for together. And I just want to let you know that, as Tammy said, you know, we're battling for the middle class, the working class, and the poor, so that everybody in America can have some prosperity. But if they can divide us on the basis of our sexual orientation or our race or our religion, if they can split us up based on these things, then all of those things regarding prosperity we will not have, and they will grow further and further away. We got to mean it when we say all. So we've got to stand together. And the fundamental idea behind the all is that there really is enough for all of us. There's enough in America. There's enough food. There's enough jobs. There's enough marriage for everybody. right? There's enough. We don't have to say, oh, there's not enough marriage, so you guys don't get any. I mean, it's really absurd. And so I think that we've got to fiercely defend this idea, and as we move forward, and as we see politicians and leaders engage in division and exclusion, we have got to roar back and cling to each other very, very tightly. And we've got to remember, as we fight, to defeat things like DOMA and to defeat these amendments going all across the nation to attack marriage equality, you've got to bear in mind that it's got to be all. We've got to reach out. We've got to campaign that way. We've got to reach out to everybody. And we've actually got to behave as though everybody is open to the great idea that it's none of the government's business as to who you love and want to be with. Yeah. We've got to cling to this idea. We've got to believe that faith leaders are open to the very simple and clear idea that some things are for the individual to decide. We can't leave them out. We can't say, we've got to go to labor and say, you know what? Y'all believe that this is an individual choice and a person's business. We've got to go to the environmental community. We can't leave anybody out of this conversation, because I believe that this is something that everybody can get. No matter who they are or whatever walk of life they may be on, everybody can get this simple idea that who you love and who you want to be with is up to you and nobody else. And we should all defend and protect the choice of our friends and our loved ones and our neighbors and our fellow Americans. So with that, thank you all for fighting for this idea of one America. All of us in this thing together, where there's enough for everybody and plenty to go around. Thank you all very much.